Tonight, I didn't come to entertain. I didn't come with a long list of questions. I didn't come to interview anybody. I didn't come with all the answers. Tonight, I just wanted to sit down and get comfortable and just talk. Welcome to an interrupted broadcast podcast night with E. Shay Speaks. Tonight's conversation is for anybody who's ever found themselves loving someone while slowly realizing the relationship was changing them. Maybe you entered a relationship believing you had found someone who understood you, someone who made you feel safe, someone who listened to you and made you feel seen. But somewhere along the way, what once felt comforting started feeling controlling. What once felt concern started feeling like monitoring. What once felt like protection started to feel like possession. And now you're sitting there wondering, how did we get here? Sometimes the hardest relationships to leave are not the ones that were made bad from the beginning. It's easier to realize danger when danger introduces itself honestly. But what happens when the person who hurt you is also the person who once held you? What happens when the relationship gave you beautiful memories before it started giving you painful ones? What happens when you are not only holding on to the person, but you're not holding on to who that person used to be? That is where many of us come back because we're stuck there. We keep waiting for a relationship to return to the beginning, and we keep saying maybe we can get back what we once had. We can go back to where we once were. We remember the conversations, the laughter, the attention, the affection, the promises. We remember who they were when we first met them. But sometimes we have to ask ourselves a difficult question. Am I in love with who this person is now? Am I holding on to the memory of who they used to be? Because memories can keep us committed to situations that our present reality is telling us to release. We begin to accept things we never believed we would have accepted. We start explaining behavior that once would have been unacceptable. We start saying, they're just going through something. They didn't mean it like that. They're under pressure. They love me. They just don't know how to show it. And sometimes those things may be true. People do have difficult seasons. People do make mistakes. People do need patience and grace and understanding. But grace does not require you to disappear. Understanding someone's pain does not mean you have to become the place where they dispose it or they deposit it. Leaving someone does not mean giving them permission to break you. That brings me to the question of middle ground. Where is the middle ground when two people love each other, but people keep hurting each other? To me, middle ground requires two people. It cannot be one person consistently compromising while the other person consistently takes. It cannot be one person communicating while the other avoids accountability. It cannot be one person apologizing just to end an argument while the other person never examined their behavior. That is not middle ground. That is the one person binding themselves to keep the relationship. And not only bonding, but sometimes they can leave you abandoning what you once held on to about yourself. A healthy compromise may require both people to adjust, but it should not require either person to erase themselves. You do not have to become quieter because your voice makes someone uncomfortable. You should not have to stop being successful because your success exposes someone else's insecurity. You should not have to separate yourself from your friends, your family, your purpose, or your identity just to prove that you love somebody. Love should not require you to become smaller so that someone else can feel bigger. So, when is it time to walk away? I don't believe there is one simple answer. Every relationship is different. Every person has a different limit. Every situation carries its own circumstances, right? But I do believe there are moments when your body and your mind begin telling you what your heart has been afraid to admit. How many of us have been there when we've been afraid to admit something? It may be time to reconsider the relationship when you no longer feel emotionally safe expressing yourself. When every conversation becomes an argument, when you are afraid of how the person will react to a question, a boundary, or an honest feeling, when you're constantly rehearsing what you're going to say before you even say it. You're trying not to be a trigger. You're trying not to get a bad reaction from them. When you find yourself apologizing for things that aren't wrong. When your confidence starts disappearing. When you stop recognizing yourself. When the relationship requires you to portray your own values to maintain someone else's comfort. Sometimes the sign is not that you stop loving the person. Sometimes the sign is that you finally start loving yourself enough to admit that the relationship is hurting you. Walking away does not always mean you never loved them. Sometimes walking away means you finally accepted that love by itself was not enough to make the relationship healthy. And we have to understand, y'all, love needs honesty. Love needs respect. Love needs accountability. Love needs emotional safety. Love needs room for both people to exist fully. You can love somebody and still recognize that they are not healthy for you. You can miss someone and still know that returning will cost you too much. You can grieve what the relationship could have been while accepting what it actually becomes. And that grief is real, y'all. That grief is real. You're not only grieving the relationship, you may be grieving the future you imagine with the person. You are grieving the promises. You are grieving the version of yourself who believed everything would eventually get better. Give yourself permission to grieve that. Do not confuse grieving with needing to go back. Missing someone does not always mean you made the wrong decision. Sometimes it simply means that you are human. And we are made to love unconditionally. And sometimes, even when conditions are in front of us, we try to find a way around it. One of the hardest parts of leaving a controlling or unhealthy relationship is rebuilding your confidence. After being questioned, criticized, misunderstood, or constantly told who you are, may begin to question yourself. Begin to rehearse who you are in your head. Is this really you? You may wonder whether you were too emotional, too outspoken, too independent, too ambitious, too difficult to love. But before you accept somebody else's description of who you are, ask yourself, who was I before the relationship made me question myself? What did I enjoy? What made me laugh? What did I believe about myself? What dreams did I have? Who did I feel safe talking to? What parts of myself did I put away to keep this relationship going? That is where rebuilding begins. And of course, it's not going to immediately happen. Not by finding somebody else, not by pretending that the relationship didn't matter, but by returning to yourself, finding yourself again. This is where we move forward into self-worth. Self-worth is not arrogance. Confidence is not believing that you are perfect. Self-worth is knowing your imperfections do not make you deserving of mistreatment. Many of us go wrong there. It is knowing that you do not have to perform for love. It is knowing that someone else's inability to value does not reduce your value. You have to be careful about allowing other people's and other person's opinion to become a mirror through your eyes. You cannot see yourself through their eyes, especially if it's wrong, y'all. When you know who you are. This, again, we're talking about self-worth. Because if someone consistently portrays you as difficult, selfish, dramatic, or impossible to love, eventually you may start introducing yourself to the world using their words. People will tear you down and you begin to adopt their vision of you, their version of you. And that's not who you are. But those words may not belong to you. They may be somebody else's insecurity, somebody else's need for control, somebody else's inability to handle your strength, your voice, and your purpose. You may decide who you are before someone else has decided for you. Who are you? Ask yourself that now. As we sit here and just reflect a little bit, ask yourself, who are you? I am still learning. I am still healing. I am still separating what happened to me from who I am. And I am learning that healing is not always a straight line. There may be days when you feel strong and you try to keep going. Then there may be nights when you miss the person, okay? Remember good moments and wonder whether you should have tried one more time to pick that phone up and call them. But sometimes that one more time becomes 10 more choices, then 20. Then years later, you spent your life waiting for potential to become reality. At some point, you have to stop asking whether the person could change you and begin asking whether their present behavior is something you're willing to continue living with. Not the apologies, not the promises, not what they could have been. What are they consistently showing you right now in the relationship? Whether you are in a relationship or out of a relationship, we can reflect on old and we can reflect on new. If someone truly wants to change you, you will not have to destroy yourself while waiting for evidence. Real change is not only spoken, it's demonstrated. It looks like accountability without excuses. It looks like respecting your boundaries without punishing you for having them. It looks like listening to understand instead of listening for something to use against you. It looks like getting help when help is needed. It looks like consistent behavior even after fear of losing you has passed. Tonight, I just want to leave you with this. We all go through things. I've experienced things. And this has just been on my heart to just talk about these things. Bring awareness to certain things that we just accept. But I want you to hear me out. You do not have to hate someone before you leave them. You do not need everyone else's decision or opinion to understand your decision. You do not have to prove that the situation was painful enough. You are allowed to choose peace before you are completely destroyed. You are allowed to love yourself while still caring about someone else. You are allowed to admit that what once felt like home no longer feels safe. And you are allowed to begin again. And maybe tonight you're not ready to walk away. For those who are still dealing with stuff, still trying to figure things out in relationships, maybe you're not ready right now. Maybe you're still processing and going through what could be, what should be, what could you do better. Maybe you're still there figuring it out. Maybe you're still hoping. And if that is where you are, start with honesty. Tell yourself the truth about what is happening. Sometimes we blindly accept what is happening. Write it down, y'all. Talk to somebody that you can trust, that has your heart, that they're really gonna pour into you, not because they're jealous, not because they have some other vendetta against the other person, but somebody that's genuinely in your corner. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to patterns, y'all. Not only promises. Create boundaries, right? Develop a safe plan if you feel afraid. And remember that asking for help is not a weakness. We all have to get there. We have so much pride, y'all, when it comes to us needing to ask for help and we don't. But be in that place to talk about somebody that is hurting you, okay? Be in that place that you can find somebody that you trust. This was not a conversation about blaming one person or exposing somebody's private life. This was a conversation about recognizing ourselves inside relationships that may have caused us to forget who we were. I have loved, I have hoped, I have waited, I have questioned myself. I have held on to situations because I remembered what they once was. But I am learning that choosing myself does not make me selfish. If it makes me responsible for life, peace, purpose that belongs to me. Know your worth, protect your peace. Trust what patterns are showing you, and never allow another person's treatment of you to become a definition of yourself. Love on you. You have to love you first. Nobody can make you happy. You have to already be there. When that person comes, they're going to add to your happiness. They're going to love you where you are. But this has been Interrupted Broadcast Podcast Night with Ishay Speaks. And tonight we interrupted the broadcast so that we can finally hear ourselves. I just thought that I would take the time to just bring this topic up and see where you all are. Leave your comments below. I do want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this subject, this topic. Give me your feedback. What would you tell the next person that is needing your help? This has been your girl, Ishay Speaks, and I'm signing.